Hello, hello. Come on in. Let's chat. Let's work on some more Halloween. Straighten this out a little bit more. Sorry. Oh, sorry. I'll get it right. Happy Friday. Work week is over. So this is what we're working on today for those of you who ordered these items on my last sale, and that way I can show you step by step what they're going to look, how you put them together. I just want to give you these here, show them to you so that you see what we're making. Trying to get everybody in the picture here. All right. I'm going to make them all a little different. I just want to show you the different things you can do with them. Hey, Judy. It doesn't have to be the way I showed you. This one, of course, is going to be, but this one's going to have a different saying on it. And this one I put on a little piece of wood with a spool. And it's going to have it's going to be on a stand. So I thought that'd be fun. And then a little sign that says Batty for candy. It's a little smaller than what the stencil is, but you can always adjust it. So let's get started. Let me just tell you the colors I used really quick. This is Waverly Pumpkin. Hello, Arlene. Waverly Pumpkin. I don't know why. Okay, whatever. And then this is Passion by Delta. And I used Plaster by Waverly. Black, of course. And then on this sign, I used, I put it away, Navy by Delta and also by DecoArt Crisp Blue. And I just kind of made it messy and did darker on top. I wanted it to kind of look like night. So just a little different. I just did that really quick. All right, let's get started. All right, and the ghost I did white. I didn't do plaster on the ghost. I did white. Let's get started with these tags. I'm going to use these tags, and this one I've already sanded, and I just want to show you when you get your kits, they're going to look a little burnt, and all you do is go with the grain of the wood, and I'm using 120 grit sandpaper, and you just sand it until it comes off. See? Before, after. Perfect. All right. And then the same with this one. I might use these, I might not. We'll see where it takes us. I didn't sell these individually. But I could sell them in a 6-pack if you're interested, and I can I'll post that up afterwards. That way you guys can. Embellishments are always fun when you're making these little wooden projects. So see how much cleaner that is? Love it, love it. Uh-oh, this kind of moved on me, sorry. Okay. Okay, so let's get started with plaster first. This should go pretty quickly too. Let me grab my piece of paper that I use when I'm painting. I'm making a lot of projects, but you'll see how fast it all kind of goes. So I'm going to pull out some sable brown, and I'm going to use plaster. And grab a handy dandy brush here. I'm going to grab plaster, and this plaster is really thick. It's kind of getting annoying that how thick it is, so I'm going to try to scoop some of it out. Of course, I can't scoop any of it out. I don't need a whole bunch to shade right now, but it just helps. How's everybody's week going or gone? It's all over. Well, tomorrow it'll be over. Okay, let me take this handle out. I love this handle that I kind of created. It reminds me of those trick or treat pumpkins we used to have as kids, and they still have them, I think, but just they're not as popular. I think that's what we always used to have, are these little buckets. So I'm just going to shade this little ghost. Just to add color. And then on the hands, I'm just going to go on the top and the bottom. You guys been getting a lot done. All of the DIYs went out. Last ones went out today, so I'm so excited for you guys to get started. Again, this video will be up for 30 days. And after 30 days, you can go on my YouTube channel, Crafted by Yvonne, and you could find it there. Okay, I'm going to grab some white now and some rain gray. And we're going to shade the little ghost that's going to go in our haunted house. The next thing I want to do are those vintage cats. Not a lot of people ordered those, but I want to show you how fun it is and easy to do with the stencils. So I might come on here Saturday or Sunday just to show you guys all of that. Okay, so let's grab some white and rain gray. And we're just going to add a little bit of color on the edges here. And around his little head. Just like that. Okay. Then we already did that. Oh, let's do burnt umber and pumpkin. And we're going to add these lines and give this a little bit more dimension. Something like that. And grab a bigger brush. Grab some pumpkin and burnt umber. All right, let's grab some pumpkin. And burnt umber. And we're going to start by doing the edges first, or this edge, and then we'll grab a little bit more paint and do this little line for the pumpkin. Oh, oh, shoot. And then let's be really careful. I'm using a big brush and I don't want to get on the way of what I just did. And the hand's going to go right there, so it'll cover up if you kind of went over a little bit. Just like that. Let me grab some more pumpkin because I kind of made this extend too much. Okay. Just like that, you can just shape it a little bit more how you want it. If you went over, if your brush was a little wobbly. All right, and then we'll just set that down. We're done with that one. I'm telling you guys, this is going to go really fast. Okay, now we're going to do our bats, and we're going to pull out some passion and some black paint. You guys can hear me okay, right? I hope. Yeah, I think I'm okay. I just turned up my iPad volume to make sure. Okay, and the same thing we're going to do with passion and black. Just because I don't have a good dark purple. Okay, good. Thanks, Arlene. I charged my microphone, so I was like, I think I'm good. Yeah, so I don't have a good purple, dark purple, so I use black to shade it. So I'm going to shade the bottom first. And then separate the wing from the face. Both wings from the faces. And then just put some color on his ears. And we could even put him a little bit on the wings here. The bats are Passion by Delta. So if you don't have that, ask ChatGPT what's a close, something close, like maybe in DecoArt or whatever. I don't know if it'll do. I'm sure if you ask it, whatever brand you have, it'll come up with something. And this is the 1-inch bat that I was selling. You guys ordered a lot of 1-inch stuff, which really surprised me. That takes me the longest since I have to cut each one by one, which is fine, but I was just kind of really surprised. Okay, so we just put color there. Thank you, Angie. They are fun. They were from my last DIY sale. I sold stencils and kits, wood kits, and all that fun stuff. Okay, so those are done. So basically we're done. We're just going to highlight and then do the finishing touches, which is pretty awesome. And then we'll put the noses on it. So what I want to do first is sand this block of wood that the bat's going to be on first, and then we're going to ink it with antique wax. And if you still want to order, you could still order. I will be on vacation beginning next Saturday. So if you order this weekend, I can get it out for you guys. That way you could start working on it. Okay, and then I'm going to get my tack cloth because it made a mess. Oh, let me throw this out. And then I'm going to do the same paper, same 120 is what I'm using. And I'm just going to do the edges of this, I was going to say outhouse, of this haunted house. And you could even take a little bit off because you want it to look a little rustic. I base coated this haunted house like with 2 coats, but most of it comes off anyway, so you don't really have to go that dark with the... Oh, Amy, like I said, you could still order it. I just feel bad for your shipping. I mean, if you want to look at it again or wait till you get your order, I'll be back from vacation by then. Let's go ahead and do the edges of this one too. I don't know if we need it, but just a little different. I'm just going to show you little different ways to use your pieces. If you guys didn't get the pieces of wood, if you can cut your own stuff, just different ideas. So, okay. Where are we? Making a big old mess. Okay. Let's grab our handy dandy scruffy brush, and it's an old brush. I know those pumpkins are these. I fell in love with these when I made these, you guys. I had done this first and I go, well, I could put it here and then put the hands on top, you know, and cover it. Because you could do that too. If you have someone to cut wood, you guys, if you want to buy just the handles, just let me know and I can sell you like a 6-pack if you want. But if you have somebody to cut wood, that they'll could just drill these on the side here. And since it's not round, it doesn't go in perfectly, but it's enough where you just put some glue and it'll stay on there. So that's what I was really most excited about. So, okay, let's finish up. Okay, we're going to grab some white paint. And we're going to highlight these guys. And I just put it on my palette and then I take off a lot on the piece of paper and I'm just going to scrub a little bit. And this got kind of streaky. You don't want that. So do as I say, not as I do. Yes, these pumpkins stand by themselves, Arlene, if that's what you're asking. They have it's kind of straight on the bottom. So I did that. And I sold these patterns as well. For those of you who cut wood, this pattern is available. It's a line drawing. It's not an SVG. It is a line drawing. And you guys can go back and look at my post where I posted all of the sale items that I put on sale, the DIY kits that I have for sale. So that way you can kind of see after I've done something if you want to purchase anything else. Shipping seems to be a little less, which Tracy was telling me she thought that ground went down a little bit. And I did notice that when I was calculating the pirate ship, that ground is a little bit cheaper than before, I feel. I think the minimum went up. It used to be $4.55. Now it's $6. But for the most part... And I really want to get it white here because I want him to his little face to stand out when I make them. So you hear me really scrubbing it in there. All right, I need some more white paint. What color are you dry brushing the pumpkins with? They're all white. Everything I'm using is white. My dry brush, I usually do white, but like on here, it turns a little bit like off-white because of the pumpkin. It picks it up on my brush. And as I say in my group, I start with light colors first. I do everything with light colors first, and then I go to the darker ones, and then darker ones, and black if I need to. I don't have to do any black today, but That's how I do it, so that your brush doesn't get dirty up on the lighter colors, if that makes any sense. Okay. And do I want to do this on here? I feel like I do, but I don't, but because I want to put, I don't know what color I'm going to make the word with. I want it to stand out though, so we'll see. All right, and then what I want to do is spatter this guy with little white specks. Let me see if I could do this. I'm just loading that same brush with white and water. Okay, I got to be really careful because this kind of makes a mess the way I do it. And it'll get stuff all over. Sorry, I'll put it all out right now. All right, let me just move this. See, it gets all over. But I wanted it to kind of look like stars, but we'll see. Could have been yellow too. All right, there we go with that. Let me grab this wipey so that it doesn't get all over my stuff. Okay, let that dry there. Let me put this stuff back. Okay, maybe not there. I run out of room here. And then this Batty was here. And this guy can get turned around. All right, we're set. Okay, we're going to do noses. So I'm going to grab my bat. And for this nose, I used this guy. And you could also use his eyes if you didn't want to hand do it. The only problem is his mouth is going to be a little bit big, so I would not recommend you using that mouth. I might hand paint my eyes on. I just want to use this for the nose, is what all I want to do it for. And here's your bat. And this was a mistake, you guys. But how cute would it be to just have him sitting like this, standing? So think about that. If you did buy the stencil and you're going to cut your own bat, think about just making him so he could stand. Wrong way. So again, your wood, your 1/8 inch wood is going to match perfectly with the stencil. But if you got 1 inch, it's not, because it's all hand cut. So it might be a little off, but it's as close as you can get. So just kind of find a part and start doing that. Okay. We're going to grab our pumpkin again and a blender brush. And we're just gonna tap it in there. Pumpkin is a little light, so you will need a couple of coats. Lift it off, and then we're gonna give it another coat. Then we do this guy. Do the pumpkin stem. Yeah, what is the hanger made out of? It's 1/8 inch wood, Judy. This one, is it what you were talking about? For the pumpkin? I think that's a hanger. It's 1/8 inch wood. I cut it out on my machine, but I just love that it fits perfectly in there. I just love when things work out perfectly. The pumpkins, I did white. Okay. I missed some of you guys, what you said. Hi, Dusty. Okay. Yeah, it has gone down tad, Dusty, so that's really good. The bat would adorable standing next to the pumpkin and ghost. To the pumpkin and ghost. That would be really cute. I'm telling you. Okay. So yeah, just think about that. If you do want me to cut you 1 inch wood that are standing bats, I could do that as well. I probably won't go as far up as that. I would come down a little bit, but that way he could stand. Okay, we're going to let that dry. This could probably use another coat. And I'm going to wipe this off on the back because I want to make sure it doesn't get all over. And give this another coat. If you have heavy paint on, you want to start in the middle and then go on the edges. There we go. And then this guy, we're just going to center as best we could. And just dab. So if you've bought these stencils before that have faces on them, you guys, try to use them in other projects that you have. See, you know, just kind of measure, see how the head kind of fits. It's a different size shape or a different shape, but it'll work, you know. Okay. Let's let that dry. Let's do this. It's drying pretty fast. It's kind of warm in here. The air's on, but it's still 90 some degrees outside. All right. I think we should be good, but I see a little bit of spot here that I could probably add more paint. I could use my brush too to kind of clean it up if I have to. This one kind of went a little big. Too much paint on there. Grab some more paint. Okay, let me put that in the water. And I'm just going to get a tiny brush and kind of just clean it up a little bit if I need to in some spots. And I kind of went over on this one, which I'm just going to smooth it out a little bit. Okay, and then on the bats, they look pretty clean on the edges, so I'm just gonna give it one more little light coat because there are some little spots that look a little purpley. And once we shade and do a little bit more on the noses, you can't even really tell, so, and you'll see that as well. All right. Did I go over on here? How come? Okay, I think we're good. Okay, then I'm going to get some cherry red to shade the bottom of the bat's noses, and I'm going to use burnt umber to shade the bottom of the ghost. So I'm just going to get a shader brush, a small one, and load my brush with pumpkin, and just on the edge, We're just adding a little bit of color down at the bottom of his nose. Okay. And we're going to use the same pumpkin and load our brush with pumpkin, and then on the edge we're going to go with burnt umber. And just smooth that out. Just like that. Okay. Then I'm going to get a scruffy brush for my cheeks, and it's another old scruffy brush, and I'm going to get some pumpkin, and we're going to dry brush his cheeks. Again, take most of it off on the palette, and then use your paper to take most of it off on the paper because you want it to be light. And this is how I make my ghosts. I do it with orange first, and then I'll do red. So once you see that you don't have that much paint on your brush, you can kind of really scrub in there and get some cheeks on there. I don't think I need, well, let's just do orange, I guess. Pumpkin. Hello, Lori. Your package is also on its way, Lori. Keep you guys busy for a little while until my next Christmas sale. Okay, so see, I'm just putting color on the back. And then I'm going to do it with cherry red so it stands out a little bit more. With using the same brush. I am using the same brush. No water, all dry brush. My friend once said, I don't get it. The brushes are dry, and then you stick them in the paint and they're not dry anymore. But what I meant dry brush is like you really take off most of the paint. And then we're just going to go over the same areas, but we're just deepening the red, the cheeks a little bit. And then you can just get some in the little nose. I'm going to grab more red because these purple guys, I really want them to stand out. Hi, Georgie. All my friends came to see me. Thank you for being here, you guys. Oh my gosh, Dusty, I got the bottle today, or the other day. Oh my gosh, you guys, I didn't know if I told you guys, but I went crazy buying stuff on eBay. And a lot of vintage Santas and things like that. So I was like, you know what? I justified it because it was my birthday week. And I'm like, you know what? It'll be nice to get stuff every day, right? I almost got stuff every day during the week. So it was pretty awesome. I think I'm going to do it again next year. And we're putting it in the nose. Okay. I think we're good. They got really big cheeks. All right. You know what? I didn't put cheeks on this guy, but I feel like I want to. This brush might be too big, though. It might give me a hard time. Uh-oh. All right. I just put a little bit of cheeks on there. See if I can do it on this one really quick. It's always nice to get a little bit of color on there. That went on nicely. Let me see if I can do it like that here. There we go. Cute, cute. All right, we're done with that. Now we're going to go on to black. We're just going to get a small little brush here because we're going to do the eyes. We're going to stencil the eyes using our handy dandy stencils. And then I just grab another stencil and cover up his nose because we do not want to get it on his nose. Oops. Now we're going to do his mouth. I didn't give you guys the teeth to this. Piece of paint went on there. Ta-da! There we go. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. I hadn't even used this. I didn't try this mouth. It looked cute. It looked good. And I'm like, okay, I'm doing it. Because I just lined my mouth. Remember, not too much paint. Don't go heavy on the paint because it will bleed underneath. Once you see that your paint's kind of all gone away, then that's when you can kind of scrub it in there to make the lines a little sharper. Ta-da! All right. I don't need this brush anymore. I don't need the brush anymore. You watch. I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to need a brush. Okay. So this is the part. You can just leave it like that or put little fangs on it. But this is the part that you don't have to if you don't want to line, if you're not comfortable lining. But this is where I'll put my little wispy eyelashes and then put some eyebrows. And on here, I'm just gonna, and if you have a marker that you like to use, go ahead and do that. I'm gonna put a little V here. I love his little wings. Reminds me of Nemo, how Nemo's got that little fin. All right, done. And then do eyelashes. Oh, super cute, Lori. Who is Eve? Why, where's Eve? Hi, Pam. Who is Eve? I don't know. Why? Should I know who Eve is? Arlene, explain. I'm telling you, I want to do that resin on everything. I got from another DIYer an idea to buy resin, and it's so much fun. Who did I get? Oh, Who did I get the Santas from? My vintage Santas, you mean? I'm sorry, I'm lost. Okay. So you could actually, well, I could do the fangs here. Let's do the fangs here. I'm just going to outline it in black and then I'll paint in the white. And I didn't give you guys a stencil for this because it would need a double stencil. We're just putting little fangs on here. And then if we have to, we'll go over the black again. Okay. White paint. Oh, I have no more white. Where did it all go? Arlene, I got them on eBay. My Santas. You want to see them? Everybody thinks they're creepy. Did I show them to you guys? I don't think so because I got them this week. I'm going to show you the ones I've been getting. I showed you the one I bought at an estate sale, right? And I think my favorite one is the one that scares everybody. I'll show it to you guys right now. My daughter's like, what do you want with all this stuff, Mom? And I'm like, well, I want to make a shelf, a vintage shelf of all my Santas. And they make me happy. I wouldn't go too much into trying to really give this a huge coat. I mean, another coat if you didn't want to. And again, you could do this with a paint marker if you have a white paint marker. That'll work as well. Just like that. Okay, and so this part I always give a highlight to the bottom of the eyes. And then I'm going to dip, dot, dot, dip, dot, dot. And give the cheek a little highlight. Just like that. This would be cute too, a little bat on the night sky. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to show you guys my scary one that everybody thinks is scary. Okay, well I was a little disappointed with this one because he's really orange, but I still like him. Don't get scared. Ta-da! It's really delayed, you guys. I've been sitting here for about a second. Oh my gosh, he still hasn't come up. Isn't he fun? He's so cute. Okay, so there's that one. And then this one is the one everybody thinks is so scary, but I just love, I think this is my favorite. This one is my favorite. Pam, oh, that's what everybody else says. Cute, right? I love them. They're so cute. They're so old. Okay. Where are we? I'm losing track here, people. Need to pay attention. Okay. I'm just going to get this liner brush, which is a little thicker than usual. It's a 2-aught liner brush, and I'm going to dip it in black paint to make this guy's little eyes. I'm going to dip a little bit of glob on the end, and I'm just going to bring it down. Get another little glob and bring it down. And then I'm going to make his little mouth by just bringing it down like that. And he's done. Oh, I guess a little bit. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Arlene. I love them. They think they're creepy, and I think they're adorable. So those were my birthday gifts to me. And then my daughter saw how crazy I was, so then she bought me something, and that hasn't come in the mail yet. Something I did order, I'm so bummed, came broken. I just felt so bad for the seller because she had to refund me my money, but it's like not her fault, but and I think she could have probably wrapped it a little bit better, but I mean it was wrapped as best she could. It came from Minnesota, so it came a long way for it to not be damaged, but post office is probably just so rough. Oh my gosh, I had a customer once get all kinds of her stuff. The box was demolished. It was so broken. It was so bad. I think we're good there, right? Okay. Oh, this guy needs eyes, and all I did was get the stylus. And then I'm going to dot on the palette, and because I want it to be smaller eyes, and then dot on the palette, and then there. And then I'm going to grab some jack-o'-lantern deco art, and I'm going to give this guy a little heart. A little heart. Just like that. Little tiny heart. There's not a stencil for the ghost in the pumpkin, but you know which one you could use, Amy. Did you get the little trio guys? I don't think I have that. Oh, where's that? The trio guys might work just for the nose. But like I said, if you got this one, you could use this. You could use all of the eyes. I wouldn't use the mouth. It's a little longer than his face. So you could use the eyes on that one if you want. Okay. Let's go ahead and get some another smaller scruffy brush and highlight the noses. I should have put highlight dots on these guys. Oh, you know what I didn't? Shoot. I didn't put cheeks on the pumpkin. I'm going to go directly on here, make a mess. Whoops. There we go. There we go. And then do the same with the bats. Thank you, Pam. Just little things that make everything look kind of put together. I always tell my group, you don't have to do this part if you don't want to. You could do as little or as much as you want. And then just this highlight. I mean, if you guys practice these little highlights, it really adds so much to the, you don't have to line the bat or anything, but if you put these little highlights, it just makes it so much cuter. And then sometimes I'll just get right into the brush and then just dab it right on the corner there. Let me do a little bit more on this one. There we go. Okay. All right. Now we're going to get one of these brushes. They're these blender brushes that work really good to stencil. And we're going to stencil this haunted house with white. The trick about stenciling on black chalk paint is you don't want to rub too much because it will turn gray. So I'm going to get some fresh paint on my palette, and we're going to dab it more so a little bit, and I'll show you that right now. So I'm just going to get a dry brush again, wipe some of it off. You can go in and get a little bit more, and we're just going to pounce it. Grab a little bit more paint. Because if you like smooth it in there, it's going to turn gray because of the chalk paint. And since it's black and if you do get a little heavy, you can always clean up the edges if you got a little heavy. Let's see what it looks like. Not horrible. I mean, there's parts that I could do, but I mean, I don't think I have to. Let me dry this from afar really quick. I don't want to mess up my stencil. What are we making? 4 projects right now, right? 2 bats, a pumpkin, and a haunted house. Okay. We're going to grab some more paint. And you could leave it like that, or if you wanted it, like I just noticed it could have been a little bit darker. So I'm just going to go a little bit darker. And you hear me, I'm like really pounding on it. All right, and there we go. There's our haunted house. Yay. Okay, so this guy's gonna go here. I really like this though, you guys. That would have been super cute. Okay, now we're gonna get another blender brush, but I'm gonna get one with that's I've used black paint on it. Notice it's getting a little hard. And we're gonna do our faces, and we're gonna do our words. Although I wonder if I should have, oh, I think it's going to be black. I just think it's going to be too, let's see. These are the ones I'm doing. I think I want to do, should I do this one? It's kind of simple, huh? But just a little different. All right. Get the brush in there. And this one you want pretty dry because this one you're just going to blend it in there. These brushes are great for stenciling, you guys. And if you want, if you don't feel comfortable, you could always try to mask off the area so that you don't. I'm just being kind of lazy and trying to do this quickly. All right. Ta-da! Love it when it works out. Okay. Then we're going to do Batty for Candy. And this is a little bigger than this piece of wood is a little smaller than my stencil. So I'm just going to evenly position it so that it's even on each side. And I'm just going to fold this over. I'm using the same brush. It's still dry. And just rub it in there. Get a little bit more paint, wipe it off. The bats are really happy, aren't they? Uh-oh, I moved it. Don't move it. Ah, now it's getting all smudgy. And I'll show it to you right now. You just have to be careful. I probably should have done another piece of tape, but again, trying to work fast. See, it's a little smudgy, but it doesn't look bad. And it's a little light in some areas, but I'm just going to leave it because I think it looks fine. Okay, so that's that one. And then on this one, I'm going to use the Frightful one that I used for the vintage ghost. I don't know if it was the ghost or the, and again, this is a lot bigger than, oh, was I going to put, I was going to put this here and this here. What looks better, you guys, left or right? What do you think? This ghost is going to go here. What do you think? Tell me, tell me. No, you didn't miss it. I had it painted already, Amy. I could show you guys on a piece of wood how I did that. I will show you before I get off. It's kind of just really messy. So what do you think, left or right? So that's the right, and this is the left. What do you think looks better? You like the house on the left. Okay, let's do that. So I'm going to make sure that it's even on both sides, and I'm going to grab some tape. I'm going to tape each side this time because I don't want it moving on me. Okay, and again, you're going to grab more. I'm using the same brush. I have black on there. This is where I wasn't sure. I didn't want to do white because I want it to match the house. So we'll see what this looks like against the blue. Might be a mistake. Uh-oh, I got a little heavy there. That could be dangerous. And remember, you guys, you could always use these little bats that are on here on different projects if you wanted to. Just make sure you block it off. Okay, let's see what this looks like. Very nice. But see, it is a little, I kind of wish I would have added more white to it. But it's fine. All right. I wonder if I should try to, what if I try to add, this is going to be tricky. I could mess this up. Or it could turn out nice. Let me add some gray. Oh, it just moved on me. I went right to the edge here, just so you know. All right, let me get some gray. I'm being crazy now because I want it to stand out a little bit more, and it does not stand out enough for me. I'm going right in the gray. I'm using the same brush, which is starting to feel really dry, so let me see if this is going to work. If it wasn't exact, my initial thought was to do gray, and then I did not. Got heavy. All right, let's see what that looks like. Oh, much better. I can see some little dark spots though, but that's okay. I still think it needs to be lighter, you guys. Do I dare put white on top of that? All right, let's do it again. Probably should have been white, I think. I'm just going to make a mess here. All right, let's go in with white. It's going to be more of a gray because the brush still has the paint on it. It does look gray, but it's lighter gray, so we'll see if this works. This is 3 coats now of this stencil. All right. Hey, at least I'm the guinea pig. Ah, I like that better. I still think it could have been all white, but it's fine. We're just going to go with that. Okay, I did Batty for Candy. We're good. Perfect, perfect. Super cute. Okay, I think I could put this in my... Okay, let me grab another scruffy brush for the red because I want to add some little red chickies on this pumpkin. Oh, it looks really good. You know, I want to close... Well, no, I don't have to, I guess. A darker blue. Because the black didn't look good though, so I don't know if the blue would stand out enough because the background is already so dark. Okay, I'm just going to add some cheeks on this little guy just to give it some color. Cute, cute. And then I'm going to get my liner brush and I'm going to put stitching on this guy. Let's go across here. Stitching is easy when you're doing things. Because you're not doing one big long stroke. You know what I kind of want to do, you guys? I know this sounds crazy, but I wonder if I put silver on top, it would look cute. Okay, and then on these little hands, I'm just going to do a stroke there and then just kind of come on top. Not really anything crazy, just until I have enough paint on my brush. Okay. So now let's get our stylus and some fresh white paint and put little dip dots on here. Dip, dot, dot. There's something else that needed. Is that it? Oh, the ghost. Dip, dot, dot, dot. There we go. Okay. So now let's put this all together so you can see how we did all of this. So, oh, I forgot. Oops, sorry. I forgot this one. Okay. So let's do this. And then we're going to get some blue tape and a new blendy brush since I already put that one in the water. For those of you who bought this stencil, it's the 5.5 inch, I think. And I'm just going to do the bottom of this. I'm going to grab another brush. Let me switch over this paint. I need more palette. We're just going to go for it. And then try to get in the little, you can see that there's still orange on the edges sometimes. So really get your brush and get in there when it's pretty dry. Ta-da! Very nice. I love it. So then we're going to get another brush and we're going to use antique wax to antique some of these items. And I just use the lid. I'm going to use the dry brush. Take most of it off on my palette and towels, paper towels. Paper towels, wipies are your friends. And I saw I got a little heavy down here. Let me just wipe that off. All right. It's done. Oops, a little heavy. Just grab your wipey. Take most of it off. Oh, I got my finger on here. And right here. And you can go as dark as you want on here, as light as you want. Sometimes I go heavy and I start blending it like in the piece of, into the sign. Not like that. All right. And then last but not least, oh, I almost spilled that antique wax. That would not have been good. All right. And then we're just going to do the edges here. But don't let me forget to show you the blue. How I did the blue, you guys. All right. I think we're done with antique wax. Oh, you know what I do want to antique wax though? Probably these little signs. I probably have too much antique wax on my brush, but I don't know if I'm going to use these, but I wanted to try them on something else. Like I said, I didn't offer these in a 6-pack, but I could offer them if you were interested. We sanded off the burnt area just to put it back on. It's a little different burnt though. This looks a little bit more antique-y. This one could have a little bit more. Okay, I think we're good with antique wax. So now, if you ordered 1/8 inch wood that looked like it was supposed to have a pop-up when I went live, you're going to get these little extra pieces that you can use to pop up your pieces. So I hope I gave you guys enough for all the pieces that you ordered. I tried to be generous with that, so we'll see. Hopefully you don't need a whole bunch. Sometimes I try to put in at least 2 for each piece. So then I'm just going to grab my wood glue. I guess I could do that. And I'm just going to, this keeps, okay. Oh, it's clogged. I still think I can go lighter on the Frightful, you guys. Not absolutely white, but I think it could use a little bit more. Okay. And so then I'm just going to, I wonder if I should have done it before this, but oh well. And if you're going to put it on something, oh, I want to move it over. Make sure that when you stand it up, it's all the way to the bottom. So do that and make sure it's adhered on there nicely. And then this one, we're going to also pop it up. I have this leaf that was all broken. And you might get those too. You might think, oh, why did I get this shape? It's just because they were kind of seconds. And I could have used this because it's the back, but I'm just using it for this part. I could just have him like he's flying on there. Just like that. Super cute. All right, I'm running out of room. Oh, I won't glue this because I don't like to glue when I sell that. So let's turn this over. And on these spools, you guys, I like to keep the piece of paper just because it makes it look a little bit more vintagey. So on this one, I wanted to put this little thing with jute on here. Might not stay because it might slide down, but so I made a knot and then I'm gonna make another knot so that it stays. Oh, it's really cute. I guess you could dab a little bit of glue if you want, if you're not sure if it's gonna stay or not. Isn't that cute? And then this, I did this in separate, so it'll be together. It'll be a little set. Batty for candy, and then it's next to the little scary sign. That's cute. Okay, so there's that one. This one still needs a ghost. Okay, no, we got way too much stuff on our table. Let me move this out of the way or it's gonna drive me crazy. And then, oh my gosh, I love the little bat on the spool. So for this, we're just going to stick some wood glue in there. The tags and the little stencils. What stencils, Amy? The little stencils. I don't know what stencils that is. And then I'm just going to stick it in there. Remember, it's not round, so it's going to kind of be a little weird, but it stays. I promise you, it stays. And then you're just going to grab these little hands and have him holding on to the pumpkin. And I made your hands a little bit bigger These were the ones that I was going to use. And I go, you know what? I think they could be a little bit bigger. I thought it'd be cute. Then I'm going to grab a piece of plaid black ribbon and just make a bow. And then angle it here. Little wooden tags are their little stencils that go on the tags. Oh, no, it's engraved. Those are already engraved. So yeah, if you get the tags, it'll already be engraved. That would be super tiny as a stencil. I don't know if I could do it, you guys. I could try. Ah. And I'm just going to put a little dollop of glue there and then stick it right in there and try to get my something in here to hold it down. I wanted a booyah for this one, but it might not work. Oh, maybe on this side it'll work, huh? Something like that. I didn't put that on the original, but I thought, oh my gosh, I have some of these left over. I'm going to use them. Let me see if this is going to work. If not, I could put it somewhere else. I think it's going to work. Oh my gosh, super cute. Okay, so there's that one. I finished that one. We need to finish this guy. Oh, I was going to use booyah for this one, but we don't need that, I don't think. For this one, I'm going to use stick fast because the areas are kind of tiny. So I want it coming out of the window. So it's going to kind of go like that. So I'm just going to put a little bit of stick fast here and here. Might have been too much, darn it. I think so. I'm going to use a brush that I'm going to throw away because once I use it, it will be ruined. Oh, I guess I don't need to. I guess I don't need to. It kind of dried clear. It's kind of glossy, but it's okay. All right. So, where are we with everything? We are done. We are done. So you see how you could use this this stencil, you guys, for different pieces. I think on one of them, for my live, I had the Eek Scary Spooky on one. On this one, I did Trick or Treat Booyah and October 31st. I do see that it's a little, it kind of seeped a little bit. I might clean that up a little bit and close up the stencil bridges. This guy is too much fun as well. And then, oh my gosh, there's no room for all of this. And then Batty for Candy. So this was my original. I added a little booyah. So that's fun. This was my original, but instead I used Frightful and I put that on there. And I will show you how to do the blue right before I get off. And then this one I did Batty for Candy all in one piece, but I did it on this one. And this was the bauble, but I put them on a little spool and little piece of wood and did Batty for Candy. So there you go. I think I might put a rag bow down here just to give it some color. And I might put a rag bow up here. But other than that, I love it. Yes, I will paint the sky. Amy, I do sell the tags engraved already. That's what I was talking about. That if you're interested, Donna Ledbetter reached out to me and she wanted the witches in. So she bought a set of 6. I can't remember the price, but you could just reach out to me and I can sell you. I have Scary, Booyah, and the Witches in. So if you're interested in any of that, let me show you the sky. let me grab a piece of wood. And for this I did, I stained it, I antique waxed it in, I antique waxed the whole thing and then I painted the top. I'm not going to do that just because I want to show you guys how I did the sky. So you're going to put out some crisp blue and navy, which that was my last bottle of navy, but I think I have another one. Let me see. Black, that's not going to work. Let me see if I can find navy. I have royal navy from Deco Art. That's even better. You guys can find that probably easier than. So I'll use royal navy and crisp blue. And I'm just going to get a brush and move this out of the way. And I'm going to start with the crisp blue, and it's really bright. You see how bright it is? I'm using water. You just want to lay a foundation down. All right, then I'm going to dip my brush in navy. And while it's still wet, I'm just going to start making it look darker on top and working my way down, right? So then I'm going to dry this really quick. Crisp blue is Deco Art, and this royal navy is Deco Art. I used navy from Delta, but I ran out. That was my last of it when I did that, when I base painted that. Frightful. Okay, so then I'm just going to dip into the royal blue. I'm still using the same brush. I'm going to dip into the royal blue, and I'm going to just start on top and work my way down. Just like that. And then we could try it again. And then I'm going to clean my brush really quick. Not clean up, but just in the water, rinse it out so it's not all the navy. And I'm going to dip my brush into the crisp blue and then work my way up from the bottom up. And just like that. And if you see that it needs a little bit darker, then just go in with the navy if you want and go on top. But there you go. Pretty easy base coating, and it gives you kind of a different effect. Like I could see it could be a little darker, so when it dries again, I'll just go again and make it a little darker. All right, guys, I am done. Thank you for joining me. I will try to go on Saturday or Sunday because, like I said, we'll be going on vacation next week. Reach out to me if there's anything you want, and I can get it out to you before I leave. Whoa, don't fall. Just trying to make this so that you guys, maybe this could be like this. Can you see it that way? I don't know if you can see it that way. They're just such big pieces. I have more for my sale now. There we go. Anyway, thank you for joining me, and I'll try to come on again before the end of the weekend. Whoa. To show you guys more fun stuff from the sale. So maybe something else that you didn't order that you thought, oh gosh, I need to add to it. Oh, I forgot. I will spatter this guy with black after I get off, just like I did the white. So funny how plain he looks, right? And then just to let you know, you guys, I get a piece of wood and I'll cover his face here. So I try not to get it on his face. And then just lift it off. So I will do that when I get off. But there you go. I hope you enjoyed this. Little pop-ups and cute little guys. And we will talk soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.